What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Comic-Con podcast, episode 49. Damn, we're almost to 50. This is December 15th. We're filming it on Wednesday, the night of December 15th. I am Zach, a.k.a. The Manimal, as always, with my buddy, Justin, a.k.a. Nemesis Prime. What's up, dog?
Spider-Man. No, we're joking. We are recording this a day early because we both are going to see this movie tomorrow on Thursday, which you're listening to this on Friday. So we are also going to be doing a Spider-Man review.
Yes.
Which will be coming out sometime next week, but we figured we'd get this one out of the way so we don't accidentally spoil anything Spider-Man after we both see it on typically Thursdays when we record.
Yeah, so we want to make sure you guys are obviously all listening to this Friday morning, Friday evening, and maybe you're a little hesitant on it. 100% no Spider-Man spoilers. We have both avoided the internet. Suggest if you haven't already, obviously you're listening to this on Friday, maybe it's too late at that point. Avoid the internet. Avoid Marvel's Instagram page, because I made the mistake of like looking at just a random article about, I think it was about X-Men in I cruise at the comments, I look at the comments, and people are posting shit. Like, all I see in my eye is like, oh, hey, U.S. viewers, Spider-Man, ... and then I just like turn my eyes off and looked away real quick. Like, yo, dude, just like, fuck, man. So, yes, no Spider-Man spoilers, no Hawkeye spoilers either. We both have watched the episode. We are going to wait till the last episode comes out to talk about that as well, give you our end of the series review on that. But welcome. If you're listening to us, if you are new and you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Anchor FM, you can find us on any of those other platforms, whichever one you are not using. If you're looking to contact us, we both have our own Instagram accounts, Milton_the_Manimal and Nemesis_Prime on Instagram, as well as the Comic-Con podcast Instagram account. You can send us DMs, questions, messages, hate mail, no nudies, please. Unless no nudies. Let's just go no nudies. We can't get in any kind of trouble here. So, and you can email us at thecomicconpodcast@gmail.com for the same kind of stuff. You want to send us questions, voice messages. We haven't received a voice message in a long time. I'm waiting for another one, man. I miss those. They're always fun to play. But anyway, so yeah, that's where you can contact us, hook up with us, let us know anything you want us to talk about, any drama you got, we'll spill the beans on. And yeah, so we got a good show today. We got some community. We have some articles. And of course, you know how we do. We always end with what we're currently reading. So the Comic-Con podcast, always talking about the community. We have a community story right from our very own host, Justin, a.k.a. Nemesis Prime. And I'm excited to hear this one because he kind of tried to tell me this earlier today on the phone. And I was like, no, stop, wait till we start recording. So it's like fresh and I can actually have like a genuine reaction. So, which is kind of what the majority of Justin and I's conversations are like these days. Is like either one of us starts a topic or like a story, and then we both pause each other like, wait, save it for the podcast. So
yeah,
but yeah, let's hear it.
So before that, let's kind of go back and explain what happened previously. I was driving home today and I was listening to Tuesday night's Lords of the Long Box cover price top 10 report. And this is just the weirdest thing ever. I was listening to it on my drive home and I get to the point where of course I wasn't on the show and Manimal's they were talking about Animal Castle and how that was like number 4 or 3 or whatever it was. And Manimal goes, yeah, he's like, my boy Justin sent me a set of cover A and B. And the moment Manimal said that in the YouTube rewind when I was watching, he immediately called me, and it was the freakiest thing ever. I was just like, bro, your ears must have been burning, and I was freaking out. The fact that literally that happened,
bro.
Yeah, like you knew to call me, but it was really like you calling me back from like hours ago.
Right. Because you texted me, call me earlier, and I was like, I got busy at work, and then I was driving home, and I was like, oh shit, I better call. So.
And I'm glad you called me at that time. So,
yep.
But let's get right into the community part of this. So, your boy Nemesis Prime is getting scammed. So,
welcome to the party.
Oh yeah, that's right. You've gotten. We'll see. Like, so here it is. My book didn't cost like whatever $10K.
Yeah.
Right?
Yikes.
So this guy. So shout out to our boy Ryan Darkside Jedi. If you're not following his other Instagram account, Sales from the Jedi Dark Side.
Sales from the Dark Side.
Yeah, Sales from the Dark Side. He's been posting some fire books at some great prices. And, I commented on one of them and somebody saw my comment and then hit me up and was trying to sell me some Marvel books. And I was like, yeah, I'm really not interested in Marvel books. So then he sends me this Batman issue number 78 in a CGC 6.0. And I was like, well, I need that book, but I was like, I really don't care for that high of a grade. It's literally a filler book in my run of Batman stuff. So the guy then sends me
78, you said?
Batman 78. It's like
Look it up.
1953.
Okay.
Then the guy sends me a picture of a 2.5, and I was just like, okay. And he goes, 250 shipped. This is a long story, but you're going to hear my awesome negotiating skills. So he goes, 250 shipped. So in my head, I'm like, that's a great deal. Like a 1953 Batman book and even a CGC 2.5 for 250 shipped. I'm like, it's basically like 230 shipped. It's like 230 plus shipping. Uh, I go, well, I was like, really don't have the money right now. I was like, any more Batman books, but then I'm like, I am interested in the Batman number 78. He's like, oh, not for sale right now. And he's like, but just so you know, this 78 for the Batman 78, it's 250 firm. I go, okay, thanks. Literally 15 minutes later, he goes 235 question mark.
Damn, good
Yeah.
job.
He goes, let me know if that works as long as you're in the US. LOL. I go, well, I'm in New Jersey. I go, literally, this was my message back to him. I go, well, at this rate, maybe by Friday, I'll get it down to 200.
Mhm.
His reply to that was, I can do 180 if you buy it today.
Oh man. I guess
So
that's like an exciting red flag right there, kind of.
partially, yes, but I also think right now, because it's the holidays, it's like fire sale. Like
Right. Of
I have
course.
been buying a ton of stuff at cheap prices, like Star Wars books, Batman stuff, like stuff that I'm just like, I would not really be out there searching for, but people are throwing stuff up on their Instagrams and eBay and Facebook. And I'm just like, yo, these deals are great. Like I have to jump on it. So um, I was like, all right, sure. And he goes, Apple Pay or Venmo goods and services. So I was just like, all right, well, like if I'm going to do Venmo goods and services, at least I know I'm, whatever,
Covered.
like I'm
Yeah.
protected.
Right. That's
So
good.
whatever, I send him the money. And he's like, "Oh, you looking to buy any more books?" I was like, Golden Age Batman stuff. He's like, "Well," he's like, "I have a Star Wars 1." And I was like, "I don't really need that right now." And he's like, "Well, how about anything between ASM 1 to 20 or Batman 1 to 40?" And part of me should have been like, "There's no way this guy really has these books."
Batman
So,
1 to 40, like the original
yeah, like
Batman?
the original run.
Wow. Okay.
He didn't show me any pictures. So I sent him exactly a screenshot of what I had and I guess what I really needed. And then we were actually having a decent conversation, right? And he's like, all right, well, I'll look and I'll send you some pics. Pics never came. Not like I was really going to buy anything else other than that 78 at the time.
Mhm.
And I go, um, just are you sent, just the 78 now? Will you be sending out tomorrow? And this was on Monday night. So this was Monday. We were having the conversation. I paid for it. I asked him Monday night if he was going to be sending it out. He's like, um, Tuesday morning at 5 o'clock. He's like, yeah, I'll be shipping it out today. Then he started sending me pics of some other books. And I was like, no, I was like, I already have them.
Yeah.
Um, I go, just provide me a list next week and, maybe we'll talk some more. So then Tuesday night comes at like 9:30. I go, hey man, I was like, any tracking update? And nothing. He's seen the message because that's what the best about Instagram is you can see when
Right.
they've seen the message. Nothing comes. So today at 5 o'clock, I go, you're scamming me, right? Like as question mark. He goes, fuck no. He's like, I have your tracking one moment. And that was at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. Um, and then I sent him another message, but now we'll get into how I know that I'm being scammed. So
Okay.
this clown decided to basically screenshot a Batman 78 in a CGC 2.5 from eBay and send it to me. Now, dumbass, and this is great because there's how many sellers on eBay? Like millions of sellers. There's millions of books up there. This guy decided to send a picture of a book that is listed on a seller's page who I know personally.
I'm trying to look for it right now. It's 78 at a 2.5.
Yeah, it's up there. Um,
Is this the cover with like them skiing in the woods?
yes. Yes.
It's like your
Yes,
first
yes, yes.
appearance of
Yeah, row,
row
whatever.
car.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
whatever.
I see a 5.
So
But okay, keep going.
I,
Sorry.
of course, this is why you have good friends in the community and you know people through the years. So I, of course, call up my buddy Jeff and I go, Jeff, I was like, the guys who run X, Y, and Z.
I think I found it.
And I'm sure people are going to look for this now. And he goes, yeah. I go, listen, here's the story. Call him up. And I know the guy. His name's Alex. He's a great guy for who does this. I go, can you ask him if he has this book for sale? And if not, he does consignment, because people do consignments throughout eBay and other sellers, other vendors.
Right.
So he finds out. He's like, yeah. He's like, he doesn't know. And I knew the guy's name who's selling me the book. He goes, yeah. He calls me back. He's like, yeah. He doesn't know that name. So basically, he goes, yeah, I think you're getting scammed, bro. So I then, of course, tonight I sent the guy, I go, the last message I sent to him, which he saw about an hour ago at the time that we're recording this, I go, well, tell me how the book you are selling is on my friend's eBay page. Just like Batman, I'm a detective and I know he does consignments and he doesn't know you. So no reply, no tracking. So basically, earlier today, I actually contacted Venmo and I basically said this is a scam and I'm getting nothing. So, and the reason this also got brought up because I was looking at his page, and the guy's page, it's Any Cards Please 33. The guy has a lot of followers and is following a lot of people. It's not like he's new to Instagram. He's a big card guy, baseball, football, Pokemon stuff.
I typed this in though, real quick. I was looking and it says there's an Any Cards Please 33 _ a scammer.
Oh, really?
Like
On
another
Google?
account. No, on Instagram. Brian Matson, give him a call, tell him we say hello. And they left his phone number.
No way.
Yeah, dude. So it's any _ please 33 _ a _ scammer. Your boy's an investigator as well here. So I'm looking it up, and they collectors are us. Poke Stockpile, Pikachu Eats Labs, the same scammer who steal your money, report, and block.
I can't get that right now on my phone, but so this guy, it was just very odd. So what happened was I was looking at some comments and someone was just like, hey man, are you going to refund my money? So then I reached out to that person and I said, hey man, I was like, did you buy something from this guy? Are you not getting your stuff? He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I bought X, Y, and Z. And he's like, he shipped it to me. Well, no, what did he say to me? Hold on. I'm gonna look this up real quick. He's like, oh, he was supposed to send me X, whatever. I don't know what, like a Pokemon card. I'm not going to get into what the name of the Pokemon card was, but he's like, yeah, he was supposed to send it to me. He's like, he sent the package to California. I live in Washington. And the guy and he lives in New York. And he also sent me a completely different item. So yeah, he told me, don't buy anything. I was like, in my head, I was like, well, it's kind of too late. So
what Venmo
say? So Venmo basically is, I basically said that it was fraud.
Yeah.
And they gave me all the information. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Any Cards 33 scammer, like that's something different, I guess. This person is like Michael Swervin or something like that. So,
okay.
But yeah, that's really interesting. So, yep, so again, I'm currently out $180, but I think we're gonna get that back.
Damn, man, that sucks. It's fucking disappointing. I kind of now I'm going to troll this guy's account. Like I'm gonna message him and DM him for like tons of items. Act like I want to buy stuff.
So yeah, so again, I think everybody who listens to the podcast, go check out Any _cards _ please 33 on Instagram and just go and comment on any of his posts. I would just comment on every post and just say you're a scammer, like everything.
Right.
So right now I'm going to just put in the message. I'm saying nothing. I guess you're not shipping my item.
So the book you saw on his page, because I'm not even seeing that anymore. The 78 at the 2.5.
Well, he didn't even. He only had 3 books on there. He had that 6.0,
right?
And then he's got like a first Kingpin, and then some first Goblin or early. I think it's like early Sandman, something like that.
So the guy you knew is that Absolute?
Yeah, Absolute Comics and Statues, and he's a good dude. I've known him for years at New York Comic Con and local shows here in New Jersey and New York. So
Does the book like the serial number match
oh
to
yeah,
the
no,
picture?
but
It's a,
exactly.
yeah, it's
That's
a,
my detective work.
of course,
That's how I
yeah,
looked at it.
yeah.
I immediately looked at the serial numbers. I was like, come on, it's not like it's in. First of all, it's not a common book.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
1953
What
Batman.
a
So
weird book for him to pick.
yeah, and the fact that like again like I know Alex does consignments, but the moment when Jeff said, "Oh, yep, nope, he doesn't know him," I was like, "All right, it's cool. We'll just have a nice conversation with this clown." So, yeah. So that's my scam report.
Damn, man. Huh. Dude, these scammers, bro. Yeah, it sucks, dude. It's like this day, like now you just have to really like, do your due diligence. It really is kind of like it's unfortunate, man. Like trying to actually buy anything anymore. Like you can't trust anything. I don't know. It really sucks. Unless you go to like a store or like a show or someone you actually know. Like you said, it's almost honestly, I kind of suggest everyone like ask for fucking references. If you buy off Instagram and stuff, like give me a reference of someone you sold to so I can speak to them first or something like that. I mean, it's a pain in the ass and most likely people are going to get pissed at you. You know what I mean? But whatever, dude. It's worth it.
Yeah,
So
man. And this goes out to everybody who's listening. Always, especially if you don't follow them and they don't follow you and you haven't had interactions with them or they're not YouTube people maybe or big in selling, you see this stuff, like that's what it's all about. Like
mhm.
like people are always like, "Oh, I don't know, can I trust you?" I'm like, "Listen, I have on my Instagram 2,700 followers. I'm following like 1,900 people. I got 3,300 posts. I'm not scamming someone because I don't want to start over.
Right.
Like if I'm selling Star Wars books, like when sometimes I would throw up books, like I'm not scamming anybody. Like I'm not starting over. You know who I am. I'm on Lords of the Long Box. I'm on the podcast. Like I'll tell you where I'm at. Like no joke.
So he has his like eBay profile on his page, you know? Have you looked at
Mhm.
that at all? I'm trying to find him on eBay. SS409 Ralph. Trying to find his
No,
eBay
you're
like
looking at the
seller
wrong
profile.
one.
No,
Oh, I
no. If
see
you,
what you're looking at. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
see what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, on the reels. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, whatever. He's got the message, so I'm sure he's not sending me the book. It's fine.
we're gonna get
Because
him.
anybody who's anybody, especially right now, like if you're gonna spend money on anything, like I immediately want to get the book into your hands. Like I don't want to have it anymore.
No shit, dude. Yeah, it's like my biggest thing about selling is how bad I don't want it in my house. Like it's less about money for me. Like just get the shit out of my life, dude. So damn, man. Well, that sucks. Well, hopefully, at least with Venmo, he's not very smart if you did the goods and services, unless he knows there's a loophole and maybe Venmo is just gonna like refund you and let him keep his money. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how that goes. Well,
Will
you'll
be
have to
interesting.
update us as it comes through on one of the next episodes here.
Absolutely.
So, okay, let's move into some articles here. Do you want to start? Should we start with comics or should we start with like movie, TV news?
Let's do the comics.
Let's do the comics.
Let's do the comics.
What do
So
you got?
I think this is a big one. I think this one's going to go under the radar right now. It just actually got posted over on GamesRadar.com. Carnage taking the spotlight in 2022 solo title from Venom co-writer Ram V. So Venom co-writer Ram V expands his symbiotic connections with Carnage coming out in March. So this is really interesting news. So in the story, Carnage symbiote leaves brutal serial killer Cletus Cassidy behind as he embarks on a search for a new host with whom to bond. And judging by Ram V's statements in the title's announcement, it looks like things aren't going to get less bloodier or less violent for Carnage in the future. So man, this is going to be pretty interesting. I'm excited for this. I loved
Yeah.
the Carnage 1 to 16 run a few years ago when
Was that the one that had like Manwolf
yeah,
and yeah, that was a good one. That was a good
yeah.
one. That's like really the only one. Did you read like Carnage USA and any of those
Yes.
ones?
They were
Okay.
good. They were the same. Oh, they
They
were
were.
brutal because you had Clayton Crane doing the art.
Right. Yeah.
But I think Carnage has always been like that's the one good thing about Carnage. Like his runs have always been good. Whether like you said, the Carnage USA, there's just Carnage, um, Annex Carnage, which I still love, where he's
Yeah.
like trying to be a good guy, but he can't be,
Yeah.
because that was that whole access where the heroes and villains flipped.
Hmm. Yeah. The
But
Access. Yeah.
According to Ram V, this is my kind of horror, as frightening as it is implications on the page. This is a devilish, scary Carnage, and he's setting out to discover just where the bonds of his abilities really lie. Pity for those who are caught in his wake. The Marvel Universe is not ready for what Carnage is turning into. So,
Hmm.
coming out in March 2022, it's on the solicitations for later in this month. You got covers by Kendrick Lim, and I'm sure there's going to be a ton of variants for this one. So be on the lookout for this one coming out in March. What do you think about the Carnage?
Yeah, I mean, cool, I guess, but like, here's my thing. It's like the past. Well, I don't even know anymore, dude, because I can't remember how often these events happen. Let's say the past 5 years, we've kind of been
Mm-hmm.
building up to like the absolute Carnage stuff. What was the
King
other
in
big
Black.
Carnage? King in Black, and like even the Carnage storylines before that. It seems like every time they roll out Carnage, it's like some big event and like big, like, you know, something's going on. Like I just feel like he only gets rolled out for these like monumental issues or events and whatnot. And I feel like it takes away from the character because then he just keeps coming back later. So what I'd like to see, and maybe this will be it if it's an ongoing series, I think they need to give Carnage an actual plot line, like some kind of an ongoing story where he's around. And then when you bring him out into another event, it's like, okay, cool. It makes more sense, but like it just kind of it's lost its luster to me, I feel like, with
Mm-hmm.
with Carnage. And honestly, who does he interact with besides Venom? Like it's kind of getting boring in a way, like to just see, oh cool, Venom and Carnage against each other again and symbiotes versus symbiotes. Like it's just, I don't know, dude. I hope there's more. It's a great character, but
Well, like
I
you
don't know.
said, you read the Carnage run with like Man Wolf,
Right.
and
Yeah.
there was like another.
Misty Knight was in there.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's what, like, that series was done in a way where like Venom was nowhere around, Spider-Man was nowhere around,
Right.
so it can
Yeah,
be
that
done.
that was
It
good.
can
They
be
did
done.
like they played it off like there was like that kind of led into the whole cult of
Yes.
Carnage and all that, which was cool. It was a good idea. But all that was still a lead up to Absolute Carnage stuff. But it was good. It was a good run. I don't know. Carnage is kind of, I don't know if there's a lot of depth to the character either. Like I'm trying to think, like in DC you have, in my opinion, in DC the only villain that's kind of like always a villain in DC is the Joker, right? I mean, obviously a lot of Batman villains are typically always villains, but the Joker is always a villain. And that's kind of
Yeah.
Carnage, but I just don't feel like Carnage has the same gravitas that the Joker has. Um and I feel like everyone else in the DC universe respects the Joker as a villain, and no one in the Marvel universe really interacts with Carnage besides Venom and Spidey. So I don't know, man. I mean, I'll read it. Of course, I'm going to read it, and I hope it'll be good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm a little Carnaged out and Venomed out right
Oh,
now. Like,
agreed. No,
yeah,
I think the symbiote stuff has just been
yeah,
way too much over the past few years, but I feel like Carnage would need to physically and seriously kill somebody for him to be, like a mainstream villain. And I think also with the movie that really shot his hopes of being like brought forward.
yeah.
But I don't know. The series, I'm gonna read the series. You're gonna read the series. Hopefully anybody out there listening, you're gonna pick up the series when it comes out in March. So
I'm sure it has
uh,
to do with and what was the? Can't even remember now. Was it a miniseries where it was Agent Venom? Um, and he was. Did you read it recently? Where? Oh yeah, yeah. It was the damn, what was that called? It was a little mini series and it had all the symbiotes. But it was Flash
Lethal
Thompson.
Protectors.
Was it the most recent one that just came out?
Either Lethal Protectors, Separation Annexy. It was during the
Uh,
King and Black stuff.
no, just after that. So it was just after
Uh,
that, and Carnage was like in the body of like a senator, and he brought out all the Life Foundation symbiotes, and they were interacting like in the mindscape with him. It was post King in Black. Damn, man, I
hmm.
read it all. I had them. I think I actually sold them all. I can't remember what the hell they were called, but I'm guessing that's where it's gonna like come from, where he was like he took over the body of like this senator and was kind of like putting everyone up against the symbiotes after like the absolute Carnage stuff. So the King in Black. So yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess. Cool
All
stuff.
right. So moving on to another topic of comic books, if we're not talking about Marvel, we are talking about Boom Studios over at Bleeding Cool. Something is Killing the Children returns in
Yes,
March.
finally.
Ooh. So we got Carnage in March. We have Something is Killing the Children in March. So it's been a couple of months since we've seen our girl Erica Slaughter, but as of the article on bleedingcool.com, it is returning in March. Of course, James Tynion is back with artist Weather Deladera. And according to this, and the synopsis is 1 year after the events of Archer's Peak, Erica Slaughter resurfaces to take on the case of a girl who's seen some kind of new monster, one with terrifying implications. But Erica has broken ties with the House of Slaughter, and that can have deadly consequences. The Order of St. George does not forget, nor do they forgive. Even as Erica goes on the hunt, she'll have to keep one eye open for the mysterious figure on her trail in order to survive the coming storm. So,
what issue is this?
21.
21. So, man, that's cool. Like, because we've had, and we talked about this, I think it was last week, right? With Tynion kind of taking a break from Nice House on the Lake. He was leaving Batman. He's leaving the Joker. And he's just writing House of Slaughter. And then he was even taking obviously the hiatus of Something is Killing the Children. And it kind of was all because of his, damn, I always forget the name. Substack. Yeah, Substack stuff. So that's great, man, that it'll be back. When did you say? What month?
In March.
In March. Oh, so soon, right around the corner.
Yeah. So I guess the because I need right now, and solicitations for November had, I don't know if anyone's seen them or if you've seen them, Zach. They are redoing kind of like reprints for 1 through 5 and then 6 through 10.
Okay.
With all different covers done by David Mack.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's like part of a bundle deal. Like you have to buy all 5 issues. It's not like, oh, I can buy issue 1 or issue 2. Like,
right.
You basically are spending, it's like I think it's like $20, but you're getting issues 1 through 5, all different covers. And then this month in December, the solicitations is for, 2 months forward, but it's issues 6 through 10. But all the covers are done by David Mack. I'm pretty sure they'll just do the first 20 issues is my guess, or maybe the first story arc. So maybe the 1 through 15. So they don't do like her origin, but pretty dope covers.
What's House of Slaughter? Is it supposed to be 12 issues?
I heard ongoing. I feel like we've talked about this. Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be ongoing until he doesn't have anything else to write about. And I think this is going to be interesting because like this says is that she's no longer part of, the Order. So you really, with House of Slaughter, you really get that background. And now you don't have, and now she doesn't have to worry about, you're not getting like repeats. You're not getting Chase, who's in House of Slaughter, and Aaron. And then you have Something is Killing Children can live on its own, just dealing with just the monster side. So I think that's what's really good about this.
True. But you're definitely still going to have, I mean, they're going to send the Order of St. George is probably going to send people after her, it'll still be cool. I want to know more about like the different, like sects, like the white masks, the blue masks, the green masks and stuff, the gold ones.
Yeah.
The ones which one? I think it was the gold ones that hunt like dragons, like, and there's only like 3 of them in the world or something like that. Like I want to know more about that, man. They need to do like little mini series about like the different masked societies, if you will. So
James will do it. He'll come up with something.
That's awesome, man. Glad that that's coming back.
All right. So. And last but not least on the comic book side, and I really wanted to read this article before, and I didn't. Typically, when we do these articles, Zach and I read them beforehand, so we know, a little bit of a background. But I think this is a very funny article, and I want to have Zach's, pure reaction to this.
I like it.
This is great. This is great because even I'm like, I don't even know half of this. So over at Variety.com, and this article was a week ago. It was on December 8th. Jermaine McMillan posted this article in the shopping part, saying in the shopping news under the best comics of 2021. So it's that time of the year. Yeah, you're already ready. Of course, this is it's that time of the year where you're looking for shopping gifts for Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever the case may be, Kwanzaa. This is, according to this person, below are 9 of the best comic books to hit shelves in 2021. Are you ready for this list?
Random number, but 9. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Yeah. Number 1. And now we're going to go through, I'm going to go through all 9.
Sorry, is this
What?
descending order from 9 to 1?
Oh, no. They're just in
No
they're not
rank?
even in
Okay.
alphabetical order. They're not even in any order.
Okay.
So, first one up is called Cyclopedia Exotica.
Encyclopedia Exotica?
No, just Cyclopedia.
Cyclopedia Exotica. Okay, I'm
Cyclopedia.
gonna try to look these up while you're talking about
Monsters by Barry Windsor Smith. Never heard of title. We all know Barry Windsor Smith is.
Right.
Next, The Good Asia.
Wait. Sorry. Let me go back to it.
There we go.
Cyclopedia Exotica. I found is I don't even know what I found, dude. Some Tapas website, and it's comedy, LGBTQ plus, and fantasy. Cyclopedia Exotica. It's hard being a Cyclops. The comic series is a limited series from the book Cyclopedia Exotica, coming to stores soon from Drawn and Quarterly. Apparently, it's a Cyclops. I'm assuming he's some LGBTQ, and maybe he's not even a he. Okay, strange. Keep going.
All right,
What's
so
the
I
next
got
one?
The Monsters by Barry Windsor Smith.
Any publisher information for this stuff?
This is
a book. So this is actually a book. I found it on Amazon.
Again, according to her, it's comic books.
Okay. So. Okay. You know,
but and again, some of them actually will be trades or full series when I get to them, and some of them you will know.
This is some Nazi stuff.
Okay. The Good Asian, Volume 1.
Okay.
All right. Next up is Rorschach and Strange Adventures.
Okay. Oh, I know Good Asian. I've seen that. I don't know what it is, but I've seen it.
Okay. Rorschach and Strange Adventures, we know, of course, that's done by Tom King, the best artist out there.
Are you being serious or no?
No, I'm joking. I know he's a writer.
Yeah.
That's just the running gag we all know. Next up, Far Sector.
Okay. You read that, right?
Yeah, I read that. I enjoyed that. Next up, from Boom Studios, The Many Deaths of Lila Starr.
Yeah, you know, I hear that a lot, but I've never looked into it.
I have issue 1, I think the foil, and I probably should end up reading it because we'll get into that one. We will get into that one. Next up, Eternals Volume 1, Only Death is Eternal, which is the new
Kieran Gillen run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough, dude. I had a rough time reading it.
Okay. Next up is Run Book Run. Oh, no, Run Book 1. The name of the book is called Run, but it's Book 1.
Oh, okay.
So
Run.
It's the first of 3 volumes.
Gotcha.
Making up the second graphic novel memoirs by the late Lewis, whoever that is, John Lewis.
First of March. Okay, so this is I'm looking at it and it's very strong. What's the word I'm looking for? First you march, then you run. Yeah, it looks like oh gosh.
It's set in the 60s, dealing with the aftermath of voting rights.
Yeah, civil rights stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So that was book number 7. Number 8, you got this book called Tunnels, which looks absolutely stupid. The cover looks terrible. And then number 9 is Brink, book number 4 by Dan Abbott. So according to this person, those were the top 9 comics of 2021 to go out there and buy for your kids, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband. So, which one do you want to hear about?
Oh my god. I looked at the Tunnels. Yeah, you're right. The cover looks like a first grader drew this. What was the last one?
Brink.
B-R-I-N-K. Or book 4.
Yeah, book number 4.
Okay, hold on. I found that too on Amazon.
So I kind of, for anybody who hasn't read this, and maybe a lot of people have, you know, again, I picked up the first issue only because it was a number 1, and I probably should have read it, and I definitely will consider reading this. So, The Many Deaths of Layla Starr. The title of this wonderful, magical, realist tale only hints at what's really within a Layla Starr. For example, she isn't just a person who happens to die more than once. She's actually the Hindu personification of death made mortal flesh, come to modern day life on a mission to maintain her very reason for being. But can Layla really take necessary steps to prevent humanity from evolving into the whole new state of being, or will her own journey on Earth take her to places she couldn't imagine? Interesting.
I mean, I do see a lot of I see it promoted a lot. I see the issues a lot. And at first, I think when it came out, I was like, oh, okay, this could be something worth picking up. But, like I've stated a million times, I don't have the best luck picking up independent titles.
Hmm.
I'm looking at this Brink book 4, and obviously Dan Abnett is a great writer.
Correct.
And it looks like it's very sci-fi galaxy. It has something to do with the planet Mercury vanishing and stuff. And we all know Dan Abnett is known for his like sci-fi stuff, like the Guardians of the
Hmm.
Galaxy shit. I mean, that
Yep.
guy brought back Guardians of the Galaxy. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
he
did the
brought back
team.
the cosmics. The cosmic sector for Marvel was dead if it wouldn't have been for Dan Abnett. So I think he was like the Annihilation dude, like wrote most of Annihilation and everything. So that looks like that could be interesting. Who's the publisher on that? I'm trying to find it. That looks interesting. Do you have like some other ones you wanted to speak about?
So the Layla Star, of course, Far Sector, and I feel like this is a book that I've probably talked about this year. Of course, it's the newest of the Green Lanterns. I guess I just kind of wanted to. I really wanted you to laugh about these.
Oh, they're ridiculous. Some of them are horrible. That Tunnels looks ridiculous. And then this person, I feel like, just took like a scatter shot of like books to pick. They're like, okay, well, let's we have to have a DC, we have to have a Marvel, and then they're like, okay, let's get something civil rights. Let's get an LGBTQ book, and like just random ass shit. Like these are the books that you're highlighting. I mean,
Well, that's why I brought this article
right.
before you and not really told you about it is because yes, they're checking off the boxes for
Exactly.
this for 2021 when I'm sure anybody who listens to this podcast know that there are at least 9 other comics that are better than this.
Oh my
At
god.
least
I can't
9.
imagine like wanting to read about um, anything that's occurring in the real world right now. Like if you were like, hey man, check out this really cool comic about a pandemic. I'm like, no, I'm good, bro. Like I'm not interested in that. Like Walking Dead right now, nah, dude. I'm good. I don't need to read that shit. Like we're living that, like no. I need superheroes, cosmic shit, horror. That's what I need right now.
Yeah.
So
Stray
interesting.
Dogs.
Stray Dogs, yeah.
So
So
yeah. Anyway, that I just really I had to bring this article. So
that's
again,
good.
it's over at Variety. If anybody wants to check it out, it's called "The Best Comics of 2021." It was posted back on December the 8th. So enjoy
Cool.
is I guess what I could say. So
Sweet.
let's move on to some movie news. Zach has some stuff to talk about on the movie side. What do you got tonight?
So I got 2 Marvel and 1 DC. Let's start with the DC. So a lot of hype. Everyone's excited. Probably can't look past Spider-Man right now, but everyone is still pretty excited for the Batman coming in March of 2022. The Robert Pattinson remake, reboot of Batman March 4th. So if you haven't heard this yet,
Wait,
there
you said
is
March? That's the third time that we've talked about something coming out in March.
yeah, dude, March 4th, 2022. That's why actually when you said that about what were you talking about, the Carnage book? And I was like,
Between
oh,
Carnage and Something is Killing the Children?
yeah, in my head, I was like, oh, when Batman drops. And so anyway, so a Japanese trailer dropped for Matt Reeves, the Batman, and there's a lot of rumors and beliefs that we might see a version of the Joker in this upcoming movie. So we have the Irish actor Barry Keoghan. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce his last name, but you'll know him from the Eternals. He played Druig in Eternals. A lot of people are thinking that he might be the Joker in this Matt Reeves Batman trilogy, movie series, whatever it ends up being. So I guess there's kind of some clues. I don't know if you've seen any of these. I saw one picture. It was like a still of like I think it was Bruce Wayne, and then behind him were pictures, and you can see like it's just really small. Like behind him, you
Mhm.
can see like a kind of like a Joker type smile in like the shadows of like a
Yes.
person. You saw that?
Mhm. Yeah, I
So
did see that.
they're saying right now that Barry is playing Gotham City Police Department officer Stanley Merkel, who actually is a character created by Frank Miller and first appeared canonically in 1987's Batman number 405 as Jim Gordon's partner.
Yep.
But Barry's brother, Eric, became like a little bit of a keyboard warrior on Twitter or something and suggested that Barry is actually going to be the clown prince of crime. Well, that tweet has since then been deleted. And I don't know if he just screwed up Barry's career or not, because this stuff is hush hush. You
Yeah.
try not to spoil these things, but so I don't know, man. As it stands, there's no indication Joker will be in the film, and if he is, it's a well kept secret. So Obviously, this guy Barry Keoghan is a great actor. He was also in Dunkirk and The Killing of a Sacred Deer, so he does have the acting chops. I feel like he kind of has that creepy face, creepy look to him a little bit.
Oh yeah, he was great
Um,
in Eternals. I thought he
yeah,
was
I loved him
awesome
as
in
Druig.
Eternals.
And I really loved how you kind of thought, because Druig in the comics is typically like the pain in the ass Eternal, who's sometimes the bad guy, And I was
Mhm.
really glad to see that they didn't make him like full on the bad guy. He just was kind of the one who's like, he didn't really agree with everyone. He didn't toe the line necessarily, but he was still a good guy. He still like loved the family and everything, but he just doesn't drink the Kool-Aid easily like some of the other ones. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I
What
I
do you think about?
think just looking at him, he definitely he could play the Joker.
Right.
Uh, I know we've talked about this before. I really don't want to see the Joker this early in this
Right.
series. Um, or yeah, maybe if he's just there locked up in whatever Arkham or prison or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait until March to see what happens. But I
It's
did
so
read an article that said something that there's two different cuts for the Batman movie.
okay.
Um, like that they're tiptoeing between the different like what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Interesting.
So yeah, I can't remember where I read this article, and it was actually they were saying how there is oh yeah it's over the Batman reporting testing two theatrical cuts featuring a mysterious new character who could play an important role in the future.
So it's always
So
tough with Batman, man. Like, it's tough to make a Batman movie because everyone is waiting for the Joker. You know what I mean? So it's
mhm,
like, and I think you and I kind of agree on this. Obviously, yeah, it's great to see the Joker, but there's so many other villains that just do not get the time or the presence that they deserve. I'm really excited about this Penguin and Riddler combination what we talked about previously. I mean, Poison Ivy is such a great character that hasn't got her due in the live action. Um, there's just so many great characters. Obviously, Joker is the quintessential Batman villain, but I feel like he just weighs it down too. It's like once you get to the Joker, how do you get past the Joker? And there's
mhm,
just so much pressure on being the Joker because now we've had just great actors as the Joker. Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, by far the best, and
mhm.
then the Joaquin Phoenix. So it's like I don't know, man. Part of me would love to just see like a little Batman series without the Joker and just explore some other stories and characters that we haven't seen. Like a cooler Scarecrow, like you and I talked, the Arkham City, Arkham Knight storyline Scarecrow thing,
Mhm.
like that, dude. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. But that's what we got. So next up, we've got some Marvel news. So I kind of warned you guys, or kind of said we weren't going to give any Hawkeye spoilers, and I'm still going to try to prevent that. But I think maybe some character showed up recently, and we all kind of knew she was coming, so I feel safe talking about this. But Tom Holland recently said that he wants a Spider-Man Black Widow movie with Florence Pugh. So we all saw her in the Black Widow solo film. We knew at the end of that post-credit scene that she was going to be looking for Clint Barton Hawkeye, and everyone knew she was in the credits for the Hawkeye TV show. So she just recently showed up. We also saw the recent episode this morning, the day we're filming it, Wednesday the 15th. It was very Yelena Belova heavy, and it was awesome. Justin and I have talked about this. We're going to save that talk for when we talk about the Hawkeye show, but
Next week.
she was amazing. And I can totally see like Tom Holland being like, yeah, hell yeah, I'd love to do a combo like that. So um, they're both young, they're both fun. Um, she just crushes it. And honestly, it'd be kind of interesting because in the comics, there's not a lot of Spider-Man Black Widow interaction. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, because you figure Black Widow's been around for so long.
Right.
Spider-Man has been too, but the way they're portraying the younger Spider-Man, there is no younger characters in the Marvel MCU right now. You know, Kate Bishop, Tom Holland, Spider-Man, and Yelena Belova is a younger character. So, yeah, I could definitely get behind a Spider-Man Black Widow movie.
I can get behind any like Yelena Belova. Like the
Yep.
more the better, dude. Honestly, like I love Scarlet Joe. Natasha Romanoff is always going to be the best Black Widow, but damn if I'm not enjoying the Yelena Belova stuff. Like it's awesome. I want more of it. So
Mhm.
shit, I'd love to see her in a Disney Plus solo series, you know. And I feel like she may go that route, dude. I feel like every scene she's in the Black Widow movie and then in this recent episode of Hawkeye, she steals them, dude. I mean, she's great. So yeah, dude. Hopefully we get some more of that. So sticking with the Marvel news, obviously we all know Black Panther 2 is supposed to be coming out. I'm not sure if it even has a date yet. And release of November 11th, 2022.
That's
Black
not happening.
Panther, Wakanda Forever, right? Yeah. So there's been a lot of issues with pausing of filming. There's been some issues with Letitia Wright, which we talked about on previous episodes, dealing with some of her posts regarding COVID-19 pandemic and vaccines and whatnot, and just kind of a lot of rumors that there's some issues on set. We all know there's some issues on who will be Black Panther, how does it move forward. And this article we're going to talk about is very interesting. So it comes from Chadwick Boseman's brother, states that he thinks Chadwick Boseman would have wanted T'Challa to be recast in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Derek Boseman, the brother of Chadwick Boseman, was talking to TMZ, and he said that T'Challa needs to be a big part of the Black Panther franchise, saying his brother thought the character was bigger than just himself as one guy. Derek Boseman went on to say that T'Challa is an important character for young Black kids to see on the big screen. However, Derek Boseman did note that his brother never specifically stated what he would have wanted to happen with the character following his passing. So it's tough, man. You know, like when Chadwick Boseman died, and Marvel came out and said, "Look, we're not going to do the cinematic. What do they call it? The CGI for him. You
Mhm.
know, we're not going to do that. We're not going to recast him." It's very respectful, right? You know, like at the time, everyone's like, "That's awesome. That's great." But now, actually, when I read this article, and I remember at that time, I think we talked about it, dude. And I remember being like, yeah, that's the right thing to do. Don't recast him. He nailed it. But now I read this article and I honestly kind of am like, you know what? I think they should recast him. I really do. Like, I get it at the time. You can't say that you're going to recast him. It sounds insensitive. It sounds like you're just moving past him. But, you know, it's been a while since he's passed. I think everyone's kind of come to grips with it. It's still sad. It's very, very sad. He was a great actor, great human. But this character does mean a lot. To just see T'Challa kind of like disappear because
Mhm.
of this. I don't know, man. What do you think?
So, look at this way. On the DC side, and
Mhm.
I can't take full that like I came up with this, but I forget who posted this, but it was very intriguing. Think about it like this. Back when Christopher Reeves got paralyzed
Right.
and he no longer could be Superman, were they like, we're no longer going to recast Superman? Like, Superman's done after Christopher Reeves? No. Like, it's the same way.
Yeah.
Like, there's always going to be someone that's going to come up, and even in not so much superheroes, but look at Harry Potter and Dumbledore, the actor who played uh Dumbledore in I guess maybe the first two movies, and then he
Uh,
passed away, and then he got
three or
recast,
I think it was the first three. Yeah.
and then yeah, guy died, and he got recast. Like, we're it's the same thing. Like, he was a great actor. I think to me, I like that Dumbledore better than the newer one, but that's just my opinion. I don't really like Harry Potter, but um, what were you gonna do? Like, not include the character in there? Like, you were gonna have to recast them, and things happen. People, yes, it's awkward seeing it, and that happens in TV shows and any type of movie. Like, it just is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
you move on. You have to move on. Like, there has to be a T'Challa. There has to be a Black Panther in the MCU.
Yeah, man. I
It's
mean,
unfortunate, but
the movie meant so much to the African American community, right? You know, the
mhm,
character of Black Panther being in the forefront, being an Avenger, being a king, being a leader, just being a great person in the movies. I feel like you recast it, man. Like I think they made the right choice waiting. I think they did. You can't just say like right away, "Oh yeah, we're going to recast him." It sounds super insensitive. But now I feel like you're taking a great character away because of some unfortunate incident. And you're right. Like look how many Batmans we've had. Obviously there've been no deaths, but like I think you got to recast him. I think you should. Um
it's not just this character, it's any character. Things
right.
can happen to anyone at any moment at any time. God forbid something happens to any one of the current MCU like mainstream characters. What are you going to do? Are you just going to completely kill your 5-year plan of like these characters?
Dude, look at this is probably not like the best example, but when Paul Walker died in the Fast and the Furious, right? Like,
Hmm.
not saying you should have recast Paul Walker, but those movies have not been the same since he died, right?
Hmm.
So, yes, not necessarily the same like thing, and maybe it's not a good argument to recast the Black Panther, but the Black Panther is such like a staple now of the Marvel universe that I don't know, man. This movie is gonna be weird. This movie is gonna be weird. Like how they explain it, how they play it off. I think we've talked about it before where you're probably gonna see him die on screen, maybe, like in the Black Panther suit. And it just obviously you'll
Hmm.
never see T'Challa's face. Um, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like maybe they should have pushed this movie back, done like a Wakanda, Disney Plus show focusing on the Dora Milaje and bought some time for Wakanda, push this movie back, and then a recast. You know what I mean? I mean, it's coming out supposedly next year, or less than a year from now.
Hmm.
I don't know, dude. It'll be weird.
Oh, well.
So, anyway, so that's what we got for news. Let us know what you think about it. Like I said, always feel free to send us any messages on our email or Instagram accounts talking about these articles and your opinions, and we will, readdress them or address them as you guys send them in. So, like always, we end our show with what we are currently reading. We talk about the books this week, whether they're new or old, or rehash of some books that we're very interested in, and kind of give you an idea of what we are reading and what we suggest you should be reading. So, Justin, why don't you lead this one off?
Sure. So I have 2 awesome books that I'm currently reading and 1 awful book that I'm still trying out, and I'm sure you know what awful book I'm talking about. So, The Hulk #2 came out this week. It's complete garbage. I don't care. Fight me on it. It's so stupid. I can't take it. That's all I have to say about that one. On to the better books. So,
Wait. So, I'm not going to argue with you on that one, but when you opened up, okay, so I want to talk about that real quick. So, Donny Cates, his Venom run was rife with like first appearances. You know what I mean? Like everyone was kidding those books, like, oh, first appearance of the King in Black, oh, first appearance of, oh shit,
no.
Null, and what's his son's name? I'm gonna mind blank.
Dylan.
Dylan. I wanted to say Danny. Dylan. Great books, like hot books. And then Hulk 1 comes out, right? Donny Cates. Oh, at the end, you see this new group of heroes. And like you open up page 2, and this is just Donny Cates, I feel like trolling like the universe. And those dudes just get wiped the fuck out, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. I don't have to worry about that number 1 being a hot issue. But
Yeah,
anyway.
I'm not talking about this book. It's terrible. I'm sorry. It's just terrible. So, getting on to better books, in my opinion. So this is a series. So I don't know if you've read any of them, but the Demon Days series. Have you read
Um
any of them by
I,
Peach?
I read the Psylocke one, I believe, the first one.
Okay.
And then
So
I
this is
stopped.
the fourth book just came out this week, Demon Days Rising Storm #1. They're all pretty much one shots, but it's still a continuing story. This is the 4th book in the series done by Peach Momoko, not only writing it, but of course doing the art. This week's issue, of course, still has the main character Mariko, but this issue, and I love this series for the simple fact is it brings a lot of Japanese folklore into it in each issue.
Mhm.
So this week's issue or this month's issue has versions of the God of Thunder and the God of Wind. So you get to see kind of like Western versions of Thor and Storm. Um, so I definitely recommend checking it out into if you're into Western folklore. Each issue kind of has something going, and they finally show off at the end of this issue something that we've seen in a previous issue. There was this little baby with a chain wrapped around his neck, and we finally find out who it is in this issue, and it's whatever the next one's going to be is pretty awesome. So, Demon Days Rising Storm #1. My favorite of the series was the Cursed Web, just because it was Spider family related, I guess, and kind of had like a Spider Gwen type of character in there.
So this one wasn't Storm related?
Yes,
It's
it was Storm.
like Storm from the X-Men?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
because it's like the gods that they represent are the god of wind and the god of thunder.
Okay.
You
Gotcha.
get
So
like a
there's
version of
been
Thor,
the Psylocke one. There was a Spider-Man one. What were
the
the other
Black
one?
Widow one,
There's a Black Widow one. That was the
or
Cursed
just
Web.
Demon Days. Yeah, Cursed
Okay.
Web was the spider one. There is the Rising Storm, which is this one, and then you also had I think it was just Demon Days, Mariko, which is
Okay.
the first one, and then there was the X-Men one. That's the one that you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's 4 so far. I like it. Again, I think it's a really good ongoing series. And skipping from Marvel, moving on to DC, and this was a title that I was super excited to read about. I couldn't wait for this to come out. Was Batgirl's #1.
Mhm.
If anyone's reading the current Batman run, of course, at the end of the issues for like Fear State, they always had a little bit of a side story. So they started off with Ghostmaker, and then towards the end we had the Batgirls. So if you were reading the last 3 issues of Batman, which is I guess 1, 15, 16, and 17, you had Stephanie Brown, Cassandra Cain, and Barbara Gordon in there, and it's kind of them being in what's going on in Fear State, and then having to something happens and they have to leave Gotham. So with Batgirls #1, of course, it's got Stephanie and Cassandra, and I feel like they're like the younger, they're like sisters of the, they're the children, and Barbara Gordon is the adult, and they have to like in this first issue, it's all about like moving into this new place, keeping a low profile, trying not to like do anything to upset their mother, which is Barbara Gordon. But of course, what happens is, they go out on stakes and look for things that are going on, and things ensue, and Barbara gets mad. But I like it. It's of course written by Becky Cloonan. She's a great writer. She, of course, did a lot of stuff with the Captain Marvel series. And then you have Will Conrad also helps out. And the art's really interesting. It reminds me of like the early Spider-Gwen stuff with Robbie Rodriguez. And it takes you out of like that mainstream like Batman stuff.
Yeah.
Like Batman is so serious, from the Fear State stuff that Zach and I have read, and anyone else who out there has read that. And it gives you more of like a little bit of a sillier side, not like a sillier side, but just a less serious side, basically. And I think that's what's so great. And I love all these characters. The fact that you had Stephanie Brown, who has been, spoiler, a Robin, a Batgirl, and now she's still a Batgirl. And of course, Cassandra Cain, and the, in my opinion, I guess the original Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. The second, if you really want to get technical, but the first for many of us.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like the Batgirl series. Couple really cool variant covers out there. I think the Inhok Lee one, but I'm liking the series. There's a couple first appearances in this issue as well. Will they stick? Who knows? But a good little post Fear State, I should say. So it does have some ramifications.
Cool.
What about you? What are you reading?
So this week wasn't as good as like last week, where I felt like I had 4 or 5 books I wanted to talk about. But I do like this new version of us talking about like a horrible book. So I'm going to start with my horrible book this week, which has been like disappointing, honestly, because I'm actually like a big Titans fan. But Titans United, are you reading that run? It's stupid, man. And I feel
I
like
liked the beginning, and then yes.
I feel like they're really trying to make it feel like the Titans show as well. Like I don't Red Hood's role in this run makes 0 sense. Like I just don't get it. Like he's just kind of like a pain in the ass. Like I love Red Hood. I know he's your favorite too.
Mhm.
He sucks in this run. Like I feel like they're ruining him. He just is annoying and constantly like the butt of every joke. And then just the team's weird. It's very much like the Titans DC show. Yeah, thank God it's only like 7 issues, but it sucks, dude. It's just no good. But the book I really liked this week, and I've actually really enjoyed this run. This is like the penultimate issue, so there's only gonna be one more. It was Savage Avengers #27. So it's been a while, maybe a couple of years now, since Conan officially came into the Marvel universe, and he's had his own title, but he's kind of really been a part of this Savage Avengers run, which is, like it says, kind of some of the more aggressive Avengers. You had like Venom, Wolverine, Brother Voodoo, Doctor Strange, and Elektra was a part of it for a while too. It's kind of came in and out, but they're really been up against kind of mystical villains the whole time, and it's been a really, really cool run. And Conan's been I've never really been a big Conan fan necessarily. Like, I honestly I've never read any Conan comics. I really only know like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, but it's really cool, man. Like, it's a great run. I'm glad it's ending finally, because I'm very big on runs ending and not continuing to just go on and on and on. But it's been really good. Check it out if you haven't already. The main villain is Kulan Gath. He's super powerful. You had a ton of like appearances here at the end with like Kang and Doctor Doom and everyone. So really cool run. Savage Avengers. There's one more issue. It's gonna be 28 issues total, I believe, with like an annual or two as well. And great run. So check that out. But that's all I got this week.
Yeah, I agree with you on like the shorter episodes. Or like sometimes I feel like 20 to 25 issues is like quintessential.
Right.
Like, get in, do what you need to do, and get out before it just becomes like a longer series than it has to be.
I think people forget too. You're talking 20, 25 issues. That's 2 years, man. Like, that's 2 years
if you
reading
did every
story,
month,
pretty much. Yeah. You throw in an annual. I think that's a good, even if you carried like collected like trades of that's like, you're talking like 4 volumes, man, 4 or 5 volumes. So yeah, dude, that's like the perfect, these ongoing is just, what it sucks too, being like a seller. I was just thinking about this the other day, is I have that Batman run now from like, what is it? Rebirth. And we're looking at like 119, 120 issues. And I'm like, yeah, damn, man. Like, I kind of would like them to start the renumbering so I can try to sell those and get rid of them. So if it goes on too long, like, it makes it harder to sell like a whole run. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, stories drag, dude. And obviously you get new writers. So it's nice if it's contained. Like you said, I think you're right. 25, 30 issues. Perfect. Move on. So
I think we need to do that one episode. We need to pick like our top 3 series or top 5 series of contained, like under 20. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay, that's a good idea.
We'll have to do that maybe for our like end of year, because I could definitely think of some series that are great that anybody should read.
Yeah, I'll have to give it some thought for sure. So cool. Well, that's all we've got. Episode 49. Like we said, we are recording this the night of December 15th. It's a Wednesday. Both Justin and I tomorrow are going to see Spider-Man at actually 3 p.m. at our respective times as well. 3 p.m. Eastern for him, 3 p.m. Mountain for myself. So we wanted to get this show in because we knew we were going to talk Spider-Man if we had to record this tomorrow afternoon. So we didn't want to do that to you guys. But keep an eye out for a Spider-Man review of us. We will probably drop it. What are you thinking? Like Monday? Something like
Monday
that?
or Tuesday.
We'll give us some time to breathe.
If you get a chance to listen to it, obviously, if you listen to it next week when it drops, if not, if you want to wait a week after you see it as well, you can always go back. But we'll be promoting it either way.
Yeah. So, and then that's all we got this week. We will catch you guys next week, same time as always. And hit us up on either the Google Podcast at gmail.com or our Instagrams, the Google Podcast, Instagram, Nemesis Prime, or Milton the Manimal. But that's all we got this week. Any last words?
Yeah, I have a huge Whatnot sale. If you are listening to this early enough on Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern time, Friday night, I am doing a 3-hour Whatnot sale. All Star Wars books, part of the Star Wars week. One of the headliners over there on Whatnot. So, man, if you are following me or you are checking out, I am bringing at least 20 slabs and at least 30 to 40 raw lots, if not single issues. So, again, I spoke about it last week. Be there if you can. Please stop by. Please buy my books. That's really all I got.
Awesome.
That's it, everybody. We're 49 is in the books. See you guys for episode 50 coming out. Peace out, everybody.
Later, guys.